Good morning. I would like to thank Mike. I'd like to thank Mike and the staff for this series. There you go, the boys. They take bets when I'll become emotional. It's not if, it's kind of like how many seconds. It's not that long ago when one of our church leaders here felt that one could ask anything except for the why. So to understand my why, I'd like to share some of my family history. As Penny did, it was rich and fairly consistent through the generations. And I think it's that journey that really helps us define us, who we are, and what we ultimately will become. From my mother's side, my great-grandfather was John Henry Turner. He was a traveling minister in the backwoods of Tennessee. This is around a small town called Waverly, about 70 miles due west of Nashville. My grandmother spoke of times accompanying him. They would ride on horseback from town to town, sometimes together on the horse and others trading off walking and riding. They were of the Methodist faith, and this was about the 1910s. Grandma continued the faith. She married, had 2 daughters, but was unfortunately in an abusive relationship. So she left, moved to Memphis with the 2 daughters, my mother and her sister. And their home was near the church, and it was an integral part of their lives. They were involved in the church activities during the week and went every Sunday. Mom grew up to be president of MYF, the Methodist Youth Fellowship. Mom was the most compassionate, loving person you could ever meet. Dad was born in Pumpkin Hollow on the Cherokee Reservation. His father was white, his mother was Cherokee. So neither family were particularly happy about this union. The white because she was Indian, the Indian because he was white. They had 5 children. And Dad's father was a laborer who was a hired hand on farms. They moved many times to wherever the work was. His mother would enroll him in schools. They were never anywhere long enough for him to complete a grade or even adequately learn a subject. So as a result, at 9 years old, he could neither read nor write. And this was 1933. So a decision was made to petition the Indian agent so that they could enroll in an Indian boarding school. Yes, they had to ask permission. There were horror stories circulating about these schools, but they heard about one, Seneca Indian School, that was well run, and the headmaster was kind to the students. The agent allowed 2 of them to attend, my father and his younger brother. He was the largest boy in his initial class, but everyone was used to that. Children would come in at various ages to begin study. His first exposure to religion was in this school. Even though the headmaster was Quaker, various church denominations would conduct services, preach, and try to teach the children about God. Dad's remembrance of these teachings was more of fire and brimstone. It was not a benevolent God, but one of guilt and vengeance. It was not a religion he was particularly interested in. Pap Keggy was the headmaster, and his wife served as surrogate parents to him. And he grew to love them very, very much. World War II broke out. He joined the Marines. His unit was part of the 5th Division. They began training for the invasion of Iwo Jima on the Big Island of Hawaii during the summer of 1944. During a live fire exercise, a mortar shell accidentally exploded. He received shrapnel in his back and legs. During recovery, gangrene set in and required the amputation of his left leg, just a few inches below his hip joint. And this was done without anesthesia because there wasn't. It's like his leg was placed on ice, and they completed the procedure. But after that, he attended Memphis State University on the GI Bill. And my folks met on a blind date. So that's how they both got to Memphis, Tennessee. They married 3 months later after just meeting on that blind date, stayed together for over 60 years. I grew up in a very stable and loving household, and church was at the forefront. Dad made sure that he was with Mom. And through my mother, Dad became totally involved and even taught some of the classes. It was every Sunday when our whole family would attend. There were 5 children in our family, too. And I, too, became president of our youth group there at the Methodist Church, so we kept the string going with Penny, with my mom, and that. Penny and I met, married, have 3 wonderful boys. We moved from California to Hinsdale in '95. Penny went into some of this. We church shopped. But we're drawn to Union Church, and it was that 9 o'clock service for families. It was very relaxed and got the message across. It was where the children were allowed to be children. We could all be together as a family. And our lives became entwined with Union Church, and we have been so fortunate to have been here for 30 years. Again, thank you for this series. I'll be 70 in a couple of weeks, so I believe you receive a special dispensation for some of the things you say up here. So that's just Grandpa talking. He's going on, and so here goes. When I heard the topic of why, my first reaction wasn't exactly the why of my personal journey, but it was the question of why to God. Why do you allow certain things to happen? Why have you done the things you did? Why are you continuing to do these things? This is probably exactly the wrong thing to do, but my intellect can no way fathom or understand. God is perfect, God is omniscient, God is omnipresent, God is powerful. Human beings are his greatest creation, and I'm sure he put a lot of thought into it. We are created in his image. We are a social animal. We live in community in close quarters. So God, why did you make our farts smell so bad? We are engaged in a simple bodily function. Was this a design flaw? It couldn't be, because you are perfect. When did this come up? Was it fairly early in the plan, or did it arise at the last moment? At the unveiling, I'm sure as angels gather around, you can see man. But I keep feeling like I left something out. Something, I know what it is. He shall produce a foul odor when passing gas. Now I'm done. Okay, off to the Garden of Eden. But there are other whys. Why is there disco? Why did I have to wait at that train stop this morning? Why did I win the birth lotto? Loving parents, stable household, always supportive. But there are other matters a bit more serious, and they make me a bit angry about the whys. Why is there hate? Why is there suffering? Why is there pain? Why is there hunger? Why is there disease? Why is there unrequited love? Why is there loneliness? Why is there homelessness? Why does it feel sometimes this world is a hell that isn't been described? Why do bad things happen to the good people? Why does it seem that we have no idea what's going on? God is perfect. He's all powerful. Seems to me like he could change some of these things. But I realize that I'm speaking about the foibles of man and not the justice of God. So what keeps me believing in coming to this church? It is the hope, and each of you. It is our ministers and our staff and everyone out there. It is you. It is you. It is you. It is you. All the people that have been in this building with Dick Nye and Julie Ruth Harley, Georgina Noble, Hank Maxwell, Hadley Peel, Eleanor Patterson, Bob Ryland, Bill and Lucia's son. Special people who had gifts that they shared with everyone. All of them, and each of you, are the type of people like them who seek to do more, who try to do something about some of the problems and issues in this world, who try to right some of those wrongs. You ask, how can you give more? How can you learn more? How can you help others? You are the type of people that give me hope, and I'm so glad to be with you. I'm just so fortunate to be able to share this life journey with you, and you make this very, very much a home for us. So that's my why. Thank you.